schedule.
Welcome to Plug City. I'm your host, June. I got my co-host with me. Who we got?
Boy, man, Project Logic, man, Dope Ideas Media, Hang Nation TV, Plug City, man, you know what's up.
We got a special guest here tonight.
I'm Happy Yellow Chick. You can follow me on everything Happy Yellow Chick with one Y, including on Xbox One. For you other whores, I'm on PlayStation 4 as well. Check out my website, happyyellowchick.com. Real niggas say Alpha.
Oh, shit.
She said PlayStation 4, though.
Yeah.
Get you that next gen.
I'm not spending money on the next gen for a PlayStation. I barely even touched one of them. God.
Next gen, I'm just doing first gen.
We got Happy Yellow in the
Happy
house.
Yellow Chick.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Just planning this card I've got coming up. I'm really excited. So be there November 20th at the League Building.
Okay.
At the Alpha Arena.
Yep.
That's
Check it
dope.
out.
What's up, that's what's up, man. We happy to have you here, man.
Thanks for
Been
having
trying
me.
to get you on here for a while, man.
Yeah, about time, Denise. Shit.
Life.
Man, you super polarizing, man. It's like, man, people love you or hate you. So don't seem to be too much in between. And we're gonna kind of get to some of that. But first, man, I don't feel like, well, I'm speaking for myself. Maybe I say, I'm speaking for myself. I don't really know too much about you. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of want to start from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up, things like that.
Okay, so I'm born and raised up until I should do the disclaimer before people start fact checking, up until about age 12 from Brightmoor. I went to Shirley.
Shit.
Definitely. I went to Shirley Elementary School and then to Harding, right off of Burt Road in London. And then I moved to Taylor with my dad. And yeah, Taylor, Tucky.
I lived out there before.
I love Taylor for the most part. I kind of experienced both worlds, so yeah, that's what's kind of made me who I am right now. I don't know.
Did you graduate from high school in Taylor?
I did. Unfortunately, all my siblings, they grew up or graduated from Redford, so they were all Huskies. I graduated from Truman. I was a Cougar. Now Truman doesn't exist and Redford doesn't exist, so I feel like, I said, it's kind of crazy how that happened because I used to make so much fun of them. Oh, you want to go see your old high school? Let's go to Meyer. And my sister's like, oh, now you don't have one.
All right, so kind of tell us a little bit about you. Like, who were you in high school? What were you in for?
Oh, my Lord. I was the band nerd.
What you play?
Clarinet.
Wow.
Clarinet. Yep. The woodwinds. I was a band nerd, and for the most part, and it's kind of crazy because at my high school, we didn't really have, like, cliques. Like, at any given moment, like, the people who were in band, we had, like, 324 people in our band, in our marching band. And that consisted of the basketball players, the football players, the cheerleaders. Like, so during halftime, it'd be crazy seeing, like, the football players come out and do our routines with us in the marching band.
Wow.
And we were just, like, one big family. It was almost as if you weren't in band, then you weren't cool in high school. It was crazy.
Wow.
Because now it's the complete opposite.
You're a nerd if you're in band.
You know what
now.
I mean? You're a nerd if you do that. If you play Pokemon Go, which I was just in a raid that was next door. But yeah, that was me listening to Spice Girls and
Spice Girls.
yeah.
Where did you graduate high school?
And Taylor.
So what you?
Three. I'm
How do you
old.
know she wants to tell that part though?
Oh, I
She
know.
happy, she don't care. She ain't got no filter. I graduated 02. I'm a year older.
Nice.
Over here. Over here. What
Right.
year you graduate, Joe?
That's none of it. That's G14 classified.
Love
So, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing? What was your upbringing like? I know you said you moved with your father.
Yeah.
Kind of, you were a band nerd.
Mhm.
Clarinet, probably super good at it.
Yeah, for
sit
sure.
clarinet, like my
Yeah.
daughter don't play clarinet.
I love
One don't play clarinet, the other one play the flute.
Nice.
What was your personality? Outside of band, were you into sports? Were you into music back then? Like, what was your thing?
It depends on what age you want to go to.
Let's say like around high school.
Around high school?
Coming out of high school.
Jesus, high school, I was the most depressed teenager in the whole entire world.
Wow.
That basically come from like the stuff beforehand.
Okay.
I lost my mom in my senior year, so there was a lot of that going on. At age 14, I had my first job. I worked at a health center where I was preaching to people, don't do drugs, don't have unprotected sex. I was one of those people.
Yeah,
Don't smoke, none of that stuff. Yeah. And I actually stayed at that job until I was
Were
like
you
25.
smoking or drinking at the time?
Not at that time.
Not at the time.
No. And that would kind of, well, the reason why I wasn't doing any of that stuff is because of the life that I had before when I was in Detroit. You know, I was
Gotcha.
surrounded by drugs, and heck, my house was a corner house on Linden, 20447 Linden, and it was a drug house. Definitely was a drug house. So it was not a good environment to grow up. Seen a lot. Yeah.
Understandable. And it's funny because, like, a lot of us have that upbringing,
Right.
and it's just amazing to me how different people get that upbringing and turn out totally different. Some people see
Right.
it and get enamored by it and run to it.
Right.
Some people see it like, hell no, never.
Right.
Again.
That was me. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
good.
That's crazy. So how did you get involved with battle rap?
Battle rap came 2015-ish, maybe 2014. My friend had asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, I'm bored, let's go to a rap battle. I want to go see a rap battle. And mind you, I've never been to one, seen one, or anything. It just seemed like something that was cool because I saw, like a dumbass, and I say this, I was so stupid back then, because I saw epic rap battles. And I thought, hey, it would be so cool to see two people go blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna take you to a real one. So he took me to the Don't Flop part with DNA and K Shine versus Martin Quest. And it was my very first battle that I've ever gone to, and I just literally fell in love that day with battle rap. It was just crazy how people can actually sit there and say exactly what they're thinking, destroy each other's like everything. They almost made K Shine, and they almost made him cry. Like,
They got to do the pushing.
man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
This nigga.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right, like it was crazy, and I was like, man, oh man, and it's crazy because every time that I think about that, when someone asks me about it, the first person that I ever remember seeing at a rap battle was Kels.
Wow.
Boss kid.
It was Kels. I remember saying, I will be protected if he's around ever in life. And but yeah, that was my first battle ever. Usually before then, I was going to the beat battles. Uncle P used to do the beat battles, and
Uncle P,
yeah, shout out to Uncle P. That's my mentor.
Like, it is?
Yeah, I love Uncle P.
So I'm working with Uncle P is working on my project. He does like my marketing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And helping with shopping to labels and all that. That's great.
I love it. Yeah, if you're going to be in anything, in my opinion, Detroit,
Yeah.
anything, then Uncle P is the person that you need to see. Like, I love him. And so I would see him doing all of the beat battles because I was close to someone who does the beat stuff, and I just wanted to go to a rap battle. I wanted to see the.
So for people who looking for something to hate on you on, your inauguration to battle rap was epic rap battles and then Don't Flop.
Right. And
You
I was
wasn't there when Miles and Lux was in the. You wasn't in the hip hop shop like.
I was not.
Ah.
Well, I was at the hip hop shop for beat battles.
Okay. So.
Not
So
that
how
bad.
did that turn into you going to a Don't Flop event to being affiliated with Alpha?
I don't know. Like I said, he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I want to go to a rap battle. I've seen the beat battles, and now I want to see it with words. And he made it happen. And
So
then,
can I ask him, was he?
Yeah. No. I don't
Next
know.
question. No, I'm just trying to.
We're gonna have to edit that part.
Okay.
out. But yeah, you can ask who that was. It was Mark Cooper actually.
Okay.
So he took me to my first rap battle.
Okay. So did that lead to you dealing with Alpha League, or was
Nope.
that totally separate?
It was totally separate.
That's what I'm waiting on, the Alpha League stuff. But you keep going, Lobby.
Right.
Just trying to create a timeline of how
Okay.
what happened.
Right.
So after the Don't Flop event, which was a super dope event,
Yeah.
what did you do next? Did you go to another event? Did you
Went
go back and
to-
start watching a whole bunch of footage of battles? Like what was next?
So the next thing was BBG, when Calico got on stage and was in the building
For
and
real?
Will.
said
That's
that
for Will.
said, I'm not prepared. Would y'all rather
But I
have
came,
prepared
though,
me?
so y'all could see me.
Man.
I was in the building.
I was in the building too.
I think I remember that one. I might have been I know it was the early battle X Factor.
No, he didn't battle that night.
No, it wasn't that night. I'm trying to might be mixing two events together.
I was mad because I went to that battle
For-
strictly for that battle.
Yeah.
I went to that event strictly for that.
Yeah, that was gonna be a fire. Did you go back and before getting involved in the battle rap, did you go back and like do your history and watch old battles and get caught up, or did that come later? Or did you never do that?
No, I did. So that after that, I started working at a temp agency. We used to do numbers, or whatever, for taxes and stuff. So we could only bring our headphones. So I actually ended up downloading. I had over like maybe 250 different audio files, if nothing but just battle rap. And I would just be punching my numbers and listening to battle rap.
If you're, for the people that's out there watching, it's not a good idea if you do customer service. So don't do what she did. She crunched numbers.
Right.
Don't take your battle rap audio to work with you because, you know.
Yo, these fries ain't hot. Hey,
Right.
big dog. Hey, big dog.
That's some
Right.
stuff.
Right. We were crunching numbers when we were doing that. But yeah, and then I was listening to stuff from URL, from KOTD, but I tended to gravitate more towards the KOTD battles. Yeah.
Why would you say that? Why you think that is?
Well, my first one that I was ever introduced to from the KOTD was a compliment battle. And that was the Pat Stay and Rome.
Wrong.
So that right there was just like, it was heaven to me because you weren't being violent. Believe it or not, I don't like violence and I don't like drama, believe it or not, coming from
No.
a yellow chick. And it was just awesome. So that's actually one of the battles that I show to people when they've never seen a rap battle before. Because I feel as if I am setting them up because it helps me to gauge, okay, so how do you feel about this? And if they say, I want to see something more raw or something not so friendly, then I'll put on something else for them. You know what I mean? And then if they're good with that, then I know that this is not the lifestyle for them.
You're not built for these battles.
Right, you're not built for it because it gets
It's
disrespectful.
worse.
Like Arsenal is literally my favorite battle rapper.
Wow. So that's crazy. So you're more so a fan overall of the KOD style,
Yeah.
KOTD style.
Always.
excuse me. But yeah, Arsenal supersedes that a little bit.
Definitely.
What is it about Arsenal that you like?
Man, his battle versus Shadi Horror. Like
Man, which one?
Shot
the
that
first
horror.
one. Yeah, Shadi Horror.
Oh, your man.
My great god.
Pull a pistol out.
It was the first one. I hate that they did the rematch, but the first one was
Ours was
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah, and
Crazy
I actually think that
battle.
he lost that battle. To be honest, I gave it to Shadi Horror, but it was just amazing. Just the disrespect, the way he talked about his dead uncle and the worms, and like it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazingly disrespectfully amazing.
So, all right. So you started off. So once again, you go to the Don't Flop event.
Yeah.
From there, you go to a BBG event. Shout out to West McCody. There, you just download a bunch of battles, and you just like, yo, I'm digging in. I'm at work. I'm hitting numbers, and I'm just listening. So you're not even getting the visual. You're just
Right.
getting all
I'm
the
just
energy
getting-
and
yeah.
all the work. So what comes next?
So my friend Ella, which is from Unguardable, which is crazy.
Shout out to Illa. That is my brother.
I love Ella. I've known him since like 2003. Like we go way back. Him and yeah. So so that's how that happened. He was like, "Yo, my friend, he kind of raps or he battle raps," and I'm like, "Okay, well that's awesome." So then we kind of started discussing me going to another battle. So my first battle for Alpha was actually the Cave. It was a cave battle.
Shout out to Hank Nation.
Yep. And I think it was Stevie's first battle, Stevie B's first battle in the cave. I think that might have been my first event that I went
Wow.
to. Yeah. And back then I was Unguardable. I started off as Unguardable.
Big
and then-
U's, big U's.
Yeah.
So
And-
what is Unguardable?
Team Unguardable, man.
Team
And watch
Unguardable.
your mouth. Those,
Let's smoke. Let's smoke.
Alright.
What's
So-
Unguardable?
Illa.
It's like a battle rap.
Ilya.
Ilya.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I always call it Ilya. Ilya
Mhm.
had
Kind of like Team All Bars. You're like a
Well,
something sort of like it's a brand.
Okay.
It's a
Right.
brand, but Ilya does so much more that outside of battle rap. and that
Yeah.
was his thing.
Yeah.
Was Team Unguardable. He started with the clothing and just he got into battle rap.
No disrespect, Ilya.
No disrespect,
But
but yeah, he's a good dude too.
Yeah, he's a family man.
Very
He's
solid
about it, and he stays up the drama, which is awesome. It started off as a clothing brand, like you said. It started off as a clothing brand, and then they branched off into the battle rap and so much more. I think they sponsor Little League.
He does
and everything.
coaching, Little League. He does a lot.
Yeah,
And plus he's an artist.
So,
yeah. How did I forget about that? Yeah, he
Like
makes
rap,
some of the
he rap.
best rap music that I've ever heard.
He does dope music. He hasn't done music in a while. Ilya, get back to it. But yeah, he's dope.
Yeah. And then I just started going to battles. I think they had cave battles, every weekend it seemed like, every other weekend. And at that time, I wasn't really doing anything but living in Livonia, bored out of my mind with my cats, and said, well, why not? And I just started showing up. Hank actually asked Hank if I could do a cipher. And shout out to Hank, by the way. And he said, yeah, go ahead and play in a cipher. That never happened because, people...
I remember that plan.
I thought she was about to say she was wrapped in the sun.
No, she was organized.
Oh.
She was organizing one,
Right.
Okay.
and it never happened. But
Right.
when you bring something new to NBR, everybody swear they're down and willing to do it,
And then it doesn't.
and then people were backing out of it. I remember that. I do remember that.
Who was supposed to be in the cipher? Do you remember?
Who
See, now
wasn't
look at
supposed
you.
to be in the
I
cipher?
mean, it's we ain't even getting into nothing juicy yet. So we just
No. But it was a lot of people that said that I saw posts.
Because see, I just want to hear when she first came in the door.
Who was doing what, right?
Yeah, what type of pour did she have? What type of juice? What type of connection? Who was rocking with
I
her?
didn't have any connect in the beginning.
She was
except
just trying to
for-
do something.
But you reached out, and who were some of the people you reached out to do something?
I can't remember. It's been so long. But it was. I know that I reached out.
Everybody
to,
and their mama was posting they was
Yeah.
gonna be in the cipher.
Like, literally.
Real talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think it didn't go down? They got scared, didn't have the bars?
No, nothing like that. I just think that they just didn't do it.
I
They
don't
just
think
didn't do
they
it, and I
saw
said,
anything beneficial from
Right.
it. When, just my opinion, when NBR, when you introduce something new to them, to the people that's in it, if they don't see any benefits from it, they're pretty much not gonna do it. And then you have Denise coming in, who's literally a stranger, and they like, it sounds good, but
Yeah.
we don't have to obligate ourselves to it. I'll
Facts.
sign up for it, but I ain't got to do it if I ain't got to do
just
it.
Just to make it look good. Yeah, I'm down.
Right.
Sure.
And then here I am
It's-
taking it serious, and then they're just like, I have no intention of doing it at all. And I'm like, all right, I see this. So then I kind of just said, well, forget that whole cipher thing. I know who to deal with and how to deal with, and that was my first lesson in reliability, which led to a lot of issues in the future.
Now, well, hold on. Now, let's fast forward just a little bit.
All right.
What is your current position with Alpha?
I'm still promoter.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just taken a break since COVID hit because I was not getting
Absolutely.
out there with COVID unvaccinated. But once I ended up getting vaccinated, I started going to some events, but not a lot of them. I got a lot of stuff going on at home.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, right? Here we go. We got Denise, who started watching battle rap,
Right.
decided to get more involved by joining the group, the NBR group or whatever,
Right.
and then you meet Dollar.
Ooh, I kind of skipped a part. A
Okay.
big part. And so I was in a talkback group before the NBR group.
Okay.
That's
KOTD.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
The KOTD. Smo found me.
Oh.
Right. Smo found me in the talkback group because I was going basically back and forth with, which is crazy because Dunch was mentioned. He had done a lot of no-shows, and I was team, if you don't know how to show up to your battles, then why are you
Oh,
gonna be
don't miss
pushed?
a battle on Denise's watch. Or if she's paying attention. If you miss a battle or choke, you can't. Denise gonna have something to say about it.
Yeah. So he actually was like, okay, I'm going to add you to this NBR group. So he added me there, and I was just as vocal there as I was in talkback. And then Dala, Dala was at the Cave Battle, so I kind of was just going to all of them. Finally, I actually introduced we were introduced to each other. Dallas extra like laid back, so it is what it is. One day he called me. I was actually in my car and just sitting out in front of the house. May or may not have been smoking marijuana.
No, you wasn't.
And I was just listening to. Actually, I think I was listening to a battle when he had called me, and he asked me if I wanted to be a promoter because I was sharing everything and like all the groups. Like at any given time, I was in 120 groups sharing battles, just alpha battles, and the views did start going up. So he asked if I wanted to be a promoter, and I said, yeah, definitely. It was actually ambassador and promoter. So it was that for about a year. We did rookies versus vets. In 2000, the groups, like at any given time, I was in 120 groups sharing battles, just alpha battles, and the views did start going up. So he asked if I wanted to be a promoter, and I said, yeah, definitely. It was actually ambassador and promoter. So it was that for about a year. We did rookies versus vets. In 2016, I think it was. And then I just started sponsoring stuff. Like I started sponsoring some of the battles and some of the battles that didn't have the logo on there. Shout out to Dollar though, by the way. He actually made my logo, the bird. So he is definitely responsible for that bird. And then yeah, fast forward now, I'm still part of Alpha. I've just been quiet. That's all. Lots of stuff has happened. That's kind of just made me take a step back.
What are some of the things that have happened that made you take a step back?
Footage not being dropped, drama that goes with that, and being.
They blame Denise if the footage not dropped.
Yeah.
She hadn't filmed anything, but it's her fault.
Yeah, it was definitely my fault that footage wasn't dropped for almost a year, 9 months to a year. Anytime there was a late battle dropping, or it's been 4 or 5 months and it hasn't dropped, it was all Denise's fault. It was Hap's fault.
But that's the way it was when you first came in the door anyway. It's like anything that bad happened,
Yeah.
they wouldn't say anything to Dollar. You'd be like, Denise, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But that comes with that. That's why I was just kind of sitting back and listening a little bit. Because I the number one question that's just growing on top of my head is why does everybody hate Denise so much? Like everybody hates Chris, like whatever. Like why does everybody hate Denise so much? So I'm listening for little cues of hate. What could have sparked it? And I hear her say she started off being vocal in the talk back then. You know, I'm letting Dutch, how you say his name? I don't want to disrespect.
Right.
But yo, you can't show up to battles. You don't need to be. And then she said she was being just as vocal when she was brought into the NBR group. So I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, that by being just as vocal means being just as critical as well as giving praise.
Now picture this. Picture this. You have a woman come in out of nowhere. She's in a position where she's promoting battles, booking battles, making cards, right? But she's not tight-lipped about performances, about no shows, about anything. And you're talking to a bunch of alpha males. And I mean that not just because of the league, but you're talking to a bunch of battle rappers who are looking at her like, who does she think she is?
But see, so in that whole scenario, I remove alpha males, I remove her being a female, I remove it being an NBR group, and what sticks out to me is, yo, who do you think you are? Like, who are you?
Exactly.
We don't even know you.
And that's how that my slogan came out. I'm Happy Yellow Chick. You can follow me on everything Happy Yellow Chick with one Y.
I told you Logic get to the bottom. He dissects that thing like.
Because seriously, I really didn't understand. Like I understand there's certain females, you know, you come in the battle rap and it's, oh, you fucking all the niggas, or is you a groupie for this, and they find something specific that you're doing wrong and just attack you for that one thing. And it was like with her, I didn't really see the one thing that started the attacks.
It's the nerve.
But I get it though. It's me walking into an NBA arena telling LeBron James about his shot. Not saying that anybody in NBR is LeBron James, but it's like, yo, I understand you might watch a lot of basketball, but yo, shut the fuck up and sit down.
Right.
Now, if I say, oh, my name is Project Logic, I'm world renowned international scout, I've trained yada yada, then it's like, oh, okay. But
who is Denise?
that's the point.
Yeah.
So that's why people,
I'm on. I get.
so I just, that's where I'm getting
Mhm.
from what I'm hearing is where the hate started. You just a loud vocal motherfucker who ain't did shit yet.
But see, this is true. I'm a loud vocal person who responds to loud vocal disrespect.
So-
Mhm.
So are you saying so? Because, and I want you to correct me, and I'm not saying that sarcastically or tongue in cheek. So it sounds like you came into just referring to NBR.
Mhm.
I'm going to exclude talkback because I'm not too familiar with what
Right.
goes on over there. Esmo added you to the group.
Right.
You came into the group being
I was quiet at
critical.
first, to be honest.
So when you first came in, I'm assuming you were being critical of performances or battles or people not showing or giving your opinion of whatever was going on.
Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning.
So did people start saying things to you just randomly, or did you start saying something? Because if you weren't talking, people wouldn't know you were there. Like, who was this?
So I'm the type of person who responds. I will let you say whatever you need to say about me, but if I feel as if I want to respond to the negativity, I'm going to respond to the negativity.
And that's what I'm. That's
And
what
when I respond to it, the way that I respond to it with no holds barred, that pisses off that quote unquote alpha male, as you
and
would
that's
say.
what I'm trying to
Dice
figure
is my
out.
first issue.
So that's what I want to
Mhm.
understand, because it's like, how is, if you Esmo added you to the group,
Mhm.
you're being completely quiet, you're not saying anything yet, and people just start, yo, fuck Denise. Like why is somebody saying fuck Denise if Denise ain't said nothing yet? She's being quiet. So I'm thinking you must have said something. Yo, I didn't really care for this battle. His bars wasn't on point. Bitch, fuck you. And then it goes from there. Like,
Well, it was.
how did it
I don't
get
even
there?
think that it started with the bars or the
Okay.
battles. To be honest, I think that I didn't understand trolling,
Oh, okay.
because to me, trolling was okay. Now you're talking about me. Why are you talking about me? Why are you talking about my titties? Why are you talking about me being fat? I don't even know you, motherfuckers.
So was people were talking about you
Mhm.
because they seen you on footage?
No,
Like,
I
why were
was
they
I was
talking?
at the battles. Like I was actually at the battles. Like if there was a time when I was at every single alpha battle for some years straight.
So people would talk junk to you at the battles, or
At-
they would come back into
No.
the group and talk about you. from
Not
when they
at
saw
the
you.
battles. Not in person.
They would come in the group, the NBR group.
Yeah.
and
Because
talk
I
about
don't think anybody ever just blatantly disrespected her at a battle.
And so
Not
it was-
not battle rappers.
So okay,
Right.
so that's what I'm getting. So
Right.
okay, so they would see her at the battle. Who's
Mhm.
this chick at the battle? At every battle on the camera. Let's talk shit. Let's make jokes. And then you
Yeah.
finally decided to snap.
And I will
Right.
say this too, like anytime you go into an alpha battle, like I'm an older person, right? And I went to an alpha battle and I'm thinking there's a bunch of young people in here.
Yeah.
They embrace you. They
Yeah.
embrace a new face.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, when you go to an alpha battle, you're gonna feel welcome.
Yeah.
It's just after that, in that group that next
Okay,
day,
Jokes.
Yeah,
They talk
and I
shit.
didn't understand those jokes.
Okay.
Because, mind you,
So
like I
that's what-
said,
Gotcha.
it was I just got into the shit like 2014, 2015. So I didn't understand the culture as a whole,
Okay.
let alone, okay, so we're roasting. Okay, well, now I understand we're roasting, so I'm going to roast you back. That was the dun 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 moment.
the
So,
nerve.
Did you just like hit them with jokes back, or was you like really jabbing in there and getting personal and rude and all that type of stuff?
If it was a battle rapper,
Uh,
and they just got finished choking in their last battle, why the fuck are you talking about me and focusing on me when you need to be focused on prepping for your
Denise
battles?
didn't joke back. She hit you.
No.
She hit you.
Oh,
with
It was
some
for the
facts.
juggler. It was
There
for
we
the
She hit
juggler.
you with some
There we
facts.
go. So that's what
I
it was.
know
Good
you're
job.
not the one that just messed up your
No.
battle
You
talking
ain't
about
talking to me and
me.
your mama on welfare.
Right.
Like, whoa.
We were all on welfare, I'm sure, at one point.
You know what I'm saying? Like when it ain't jokes no more. Like, oh, you hit okay. So
Right.
that's where we start.
Denise give out them gut punches.
Yeah, I definitely go for the juggler.
Okay.
I do. I do. I
Okay,
go
so
for the
you
juggler.
came in the door, quiet, watching battles, just happy to be there. You get added to the group. You realizing that niggas being niggas. Hey, yo, who is this yellow chick at the battles? Always in the camera, giving you jokes. You like, oh, these niggas talking about me. Okay, I'm gonna let it slide. Okay, I'm gonna let it slide. Okay, you know what? Nope, I'm swinging back.
But I
at
wasn't in the
first
camera
it was
yet,
it
'cause-
was
Mhm.
it was bragging about the titties.
Ah,
Not as if she's supposed to accept that, but she never did really trip on that. It was the other stuff, and this is my opinion.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Because
But
you was more around.
I mean, he
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
Dude.
it was when she became a part of Alpha.
Right.
Is when the problem started.
And see, one thing I always want to do, and that's kind of what I've been hearing, right? But my thing is, when I watch people do interviews and when I watch people have other people there, it's like they always give credence to the person who's next to them. You know what I'm saying? So my little thing is I always want to give credence to the other side as well.
Right.
It's easy, you know, if I got Jamie Foxx and LL Beef and then I got Jamie right, I'm gonna be on Jamie's side because you're right here. But I kind of want to give a little bit of understand what the other side may be saying, what their thought process may have been in that situation.
That I'm disrespectful, that I need to sit in a woman's place and shut her mouth. And I'm not, as one person said, she needs to sit back and speak when she's spoken to and not speak when she's not spoken to.
Stay in that kitchen, woman.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel, being that now looking back, I'm asking you to look back, being a part of Battle Rap for as long as you have, since 2014, 2015, do you feel as though those comments were like, yo, these people really feel this way, or they just saying shit to get back at me because we talk the shit?
They were gut punches. Go ahead.
So, sorry, it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Certain people really still hate my guts to this fucking day. And it's
No. I'm not saying that they don't hate you.
But,
I'm just saying, do you really feel like, because it seems like the low-hanging fruit, I'm still in the hood drones turn, they always use, the low-hanging fruit, oh, they hate me because I'm a woman.
No.
They feel like I shouldn't be a part of Battle Rap. They feel like I need to close my mouth. And is it like, do they really feel that way, or is it just, this is the best way to get at her?
So I'm going, some of them do, some of them don't.
Okay.
Some of them who do feel that way, I mean, I just don't give a damn about them, plain and simple. And that's one of the issues as well, is because I don't care.
Okay.
But I feel as if the main reason is I did come out of nowhere.
Okay.
I understand I came out of nowhere. And I made my way up the ranks real quick without being on my back and without sucking dick. Or riding dick, for that matter. Because a lot of people are definitely dick riders and they go with oh, sorry, microphone. They go with what's popular. For example, when someone came back to the scene, that person doesn't like me. So now all of their followers don't like me either. So if you're part of this group or this clique,
But that's how gang
then
work.
you're not right. And I'm not a gang person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people who can't think for themselves, and I'm going to say this, they can't think for themselves. They're going with the trend. They're going with what's popular. They don't even know why they don't like me. All they know is that this person doesn't like me, and I'm trying to be part of their group or their clique or their friendship or their circle, and now I don't like Denise either. I don't like Happy Yellow Chick either. Oh, she's calling me out on my bullshit. Okay, well, I have standards. If I'm part of this alpha stand or this whole alpha thing, we don't need bullshit being put out. There's no reason for you to choke 14 times in your last 10 battles and then expect us to book you. That's just dumb. Why would we do that? We need you to not be choking, but yet you're joking all the time, making fun of me. Okay, that's awesome, but what about your bars? Where are you at? You know what I mean? We can do all this social media stuff, but at the end of the day, we're here for a reason. Dalla told me when I first came into this, he doesn't want me to be friends with people because this is a business. And I have literally held on to that because that's the way it is. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. This is a business. At the end of the day, I don't need to be around you to be your friend because it's a business. And I think that's kind of another issue that people had with me or have with me. At this point, I mean, I've been gone for like a year and a half since the rebirth. I'm just now coming back in. Grid City hired me to do an event that we had on August 28th. So, I mean, I got paid to do that one, but it wasn't really a good event. But, I mean, I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Plain and simple. And Dalla gave me that power. And there's a lot of people who didn't like that fact that Dalla gave me the power to do what I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it.
Do you think they didn't like it because they wanted it to be them, or just because it was you?
I think it was just because it was me. Because, like, they've been here forever. And then all of a sudden, here comes Happy Yellow Chick. And she's got TNC. She's got Apex. She's finding talent. She's got the Earn Your Stripes. Now she's gone from being in the back of the crowd to being actually hosting the events and throwing the events. Like, I mean, it was a business to me. Like, it's always been a business.
Now, I'm pretty sure you made some mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure you had some fouls, some things that you did wrong as well. Can you name maybe one or two things that you're like, yo, maybe I shouldn't have did that. Maybe I was wrong on that one.
Yeah, definitely. When I needed to stop being so verbal when it came to things that were going on behind the scenes. I needed to stop being so, for example, I made a live about a certain situation that came to footage, and I basically exposed everything because they were going on and saying a lot of negative things to make it seem as if I was so horrible to work with, how they dreaded going to work with me and working for me, even though I was paying them way too much money to not get footage.
Is that a situation that you kind of want to talk about it, or?
I mean, we can talk about it. We can definitely talk about
Are you
it.
referring to the?
I'm definitely talking about the rosés.
Uh-oh.
I'm definitely talking about the rosés, and I'm going to get lots of hate for this. But I mean, we're being real. It's PlugCity.
Okay.
Shout out
So-
to the rosés.
So what you feel like? But this is a situation that you said that you feel you were wrong.
No, my reaction to what was going on was wrong.
So what was going on, Mr.
What was going on, and I mean, you can pull the footage on Facebook. So basically, it took about, I did the rebirth January 19th of 2019, I think it was. I think that was my last battle. By then, they were already backed up 3 events for me, and I've already paid them money.
So you paid them for all 3 of those events.
Yeah. The only
they
thing
were-
that I might owe them, but I don't owe them because J. Rose told me there's $100 that you have. Don't worry about paying us right now. I had the money. I had the money right there at the event, and said once we get caught up on our battles, then go ahead and pay it. So I don't know how it happened, but after about 8 months, literally about 8 months of none of the footage coming out, I got verbal. Where's the footage? Because now we're not even talking about the rebirth. We're talking about capital punishment. We're talking about the one before that as well. I was doing battles once every quarter at that point, and I lived in Chicago, driving back and forth. Like, where's the footage?
what?
I lived in Chicago
So you were living in Chicago, driving to Michigan
to do battles.
Wow.
Yes, to make sure that people could get their footage out, to make sure that they had a platform, because at that point, there was only a certain amount of people who were getting booked. The gunners were getting booked to battle.
Okay.
And anybody who wasn't a gunner, basically, at that point, wasn't really getting booked. So that's how I developed the teams, the new class, and then the Apex. And I was also bringing in other people who just were kind of getting overlooked. So I was throwing events literally every 3-4 months, even if not sooner than that, on top of Alpha with the regular cards. So like literally every other month there was somebody on Alpha who was throwing events.
Okay.
So if I'm still 3 events behind, where's my footage? So I started making stat messages. Maybe I didn't need to go that route, but once you ignore me in my inbox when I'm asking you about it and you've got the money, and you flipped me off in public before because I've asked about the money, just disrespected me in front of people, it's going to be a problem. So I know that my voice carries weight. I've had other people outside of the league, and actually people who are on URL and KOTV reached out to me and said, what do we need to do in order to get your footage? And I said, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let them do what they need to do in order to get my footage out. Because at that point, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Because if you raise the issue too much, then it's nothing for them to say, I'm just not going to drop it at all.
But now that was the battlers would be affected by that. Now, were these battlers who had any type of cachet who could like, yo, where's my footage?
I mean, it was excel and be loyal.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? That was my main event. You know, why did it take so long for that particular battle to come out?
And did they ever give you? I know one of them was sick.
Right.
So
that came out after the fact that she was sick.
So you didn't. So I'm saying when this was when you were not getting your footage and things of that nature, did you know she was sick at that
No,
time?
they didn't even know, from my understanding,
Okay.
because it didn't come out until I started making noise. Then they announced that she was sick,
Okay. So
as the reasoning as why they were behind.
so that possibly could have been.
It could have been.
Okay.
It definitely could have been.
So
But
that-
why are you booking other events and shooting other things for Bar Wars and for out of state stuff? But you can't even get the stuff out that you've already been paid for.
Now let me ask you this: was the Bar Wars and out of state stuff coming out?
Yes, some of it was coming out before the stuff that was 3 events behind. So yes, I was verbal about it because I was pissed. I was beyond pissed because at this point, I'm not sure if you guys understand. Happy Yellow Chick gains nothing from your footage dropping. Happy Yellow Chick gains nothing from you being on stage and performing your bars. The reason why I was so pissed was because here it is, we've got some new people on stage. They need footage in order to get booked on other platforms. So you've got 2 and 3 of their battles just sitting on your fucking desk. That makes me look bad, for one, because we chose you, we paid you. We paid you in order to drop this footage because you're reliable and it's the best footage. I will not take that away. It's the best footage out here right now. But that footage means nothing if you're not releasing it until 4 or 5 months down the line. And these people can't use these battles anymore to get booked for an event that happened 2 months ago because you don't have that footage.
So did you guys, what was your conversations like when you had a conversation? Because I'm pretty sure you book one event, it don't drop. You book a second event, it don't drop.
There are so many agreements. I got receipts.
I'm pretty sure, third event, it's like, yo. Right,
that was the third event. The third event was, hey, because they wanted their deposit. And I said, you know what? I said, I feel like I'm not giving you a deposit until so many battles drop that you already have in the thing. And that's when that's not going to work. You can't just change it up. And that's when J. Rose flipped me off in front of Dollar Times.
Now, who is J. Rose? Is that
that's the cameraman. That's when he literally put his middle finger in my face and Jessica was crying because we're family. We're not family. This is a business. We're not family. It's a business. And don't flip me off in front of people. Because if I would have went off, then it would have been even more issues. And that's what people want, is for me to go off on people.
Let me check my schedule.